I was at Harvard with some other mayors not too long ago, 30 of us, new mayors from around the country, talking about all the things that we needed to be aware of. And the predominant conversation over that 4 days was education. Not just in Kansas City, but in Denver, in Providence, in Tampa, in Oakland. All over the country, education is a key topic. And let me give you an illustration of what Mayor Hancock from Denver said. They had gone to China on a business venture with a bunch of business people to attract what they thought was a huge business opportunity. And they were very confident they would get it. All the signs pointed up. So they're there, they have a great meeting, they talk to the people engaged in the company and some of the governmental people, and they think they've got it locked up. They're high-fiving on the way out the door. When the president of the company comes down on the elevator, meets them at the door before they get into their cars to go to the airport, and says, "We want to thank you for your presentation, but of course you know that we cannot come to your city." And they were flabbergasted. Why? Because your education system is not sufficient to support our needs. That's not me. That's Mayor Hancock in Denver. So, as I'm sitting here trying to do the best that we can for economic development in the city, it's those types of stories that get you. I've got about 2 minutes. Let me tell you about what we're trying to do. Something in our wheelhouse. One of the great things about this job is that sometimes you get a chance to set a tone and to talk about things that are important and to enlist the help of the community at large. Since October, we have been engaged, actually since July of last year, we've been engaged in a process and program, third grade reading level program sponsored by Annie Casey Foundation and the National League of Cities. A lot of our council people belong to National League of Cities. And part of the National Leagues of Cities programming is the All-American Cities campaign. National League of Cities has created a 3-year campaign, All-American Cities Contest, to see which cities across the country can do the best job of getting its children to read at third grade level over the next 3 years. Why is the third grade level important? Because in California and Arizona, they've recognized that the people who populate their prisons read at such low literacy rates that the best way that they can use to predict how many more jail cells they're going to need is to see what's going on at third grade reading levels. That's true here as well. $16,000 a year for each prisoner. 1 in every 97 people in the state of Missouri, adults, is in prison. $662 million a year in prison costs. What would happen if we took 1/4 of that and created a good, viable, quality early childhood education program designed to teach children and give them skills that they could possibly use to succeed so that they wouldn't wind up in prison in the first place? For every child we lose, we shoot ourselves in the foot because that child, if given the proper nourishment and support, could have been the one. But we don't know that. We are much more keen to invest in incarceration than we are in education. And somehow that is a bad investment. The return from an incarcerated prisoner versus the return on an educated adult is ridiculously obvious. So this organization that we have set up consists of over 30 of our best philanthropists, most of our school districts, business organizations, the Chamber of Commerce, and those are just the founding organizations, chaired by Judy Heater. Been meeting since October. And in March, we'll roll out our plan because that's when our application to the National Leagues of Cities is due. And we have 3 goals. 1, we want to make sure that we achieve the goal of getting as many kids reading by third grade, at third grade level as possible. That means we go read to third graders. That means we go read to 3-year-olds. But we go read, we go work. We have the libraries all engaged in this process. This will be something great. That's the first goal. Number 2, to use this as a platform to bring this city together. I don't care if you live north of the river or south of the river, east of Troost or west of Troost, or east or west of state line. I cannot imagine why anybody would be opposed to having children read better and succeed more in school. And if they are, then they're going to be in a small minority. But the rest of us who believe that's a good thing, this is an opportunity for us to band together to achieve it. And it's an important thing to achieve. And the fourth goal is to win the prize, win the contest. Let's be the all-American city based on teaching our children to read. What a great thing to do. And if we win, then we know we have also succeeded, and we will have done it by working together. I can't think of anything more important. And I know that there are people and I know that people misunderstand exactly what I want to do in terms of education. You know, I don't spend all my time on education. I spend maybe 4 or 5 hours a week, actually. I have staff people that work a lot harder. And I understand that there are other things to do in this city, but I don't understand how anybody could look at me and think that I was a leader if I turned my back on an institution in this city that is important to the very fabric of crime, of neighborhoods, of how we use social services. If I just turn my back and say, you know what, I'm the mayor, ain't the charter, I ain't doing it. If that's what people want, they pick the wrong guy. And I don't care if it means I don't get elected because people get mad at me. I didn't run to get reelected. I ran to try to do the things that I thought would be in the best interests of this city. And I firmly believe that this is. So my time is up. I've already gone over it. I feel Michael's hot breath on my back now. But I just want to let you know that we are working on a number of things. You will be hearing about them as we roll them out. We are fortunate to have a new police chief who's making strides. We are fortunate to have a city council that's working together. And I just want to let you know that I feel that we're fortunate to have each and every one of you as citizens in this city.